Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Brandy Janae, aka Queen B, and I'm back with another episode of Who Asked for This? And you already know the drill. If you want to know who asked for this, absolutely nobody. But I'm gonna give it to you anyway because that's what I like to do. So on episode 107, we're gonna be discussing the mid-season finale of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay, so let me make a correction from last week's episode. I said that that was the season finale, that this week would be the season finale, and I was wrong. It's a mid-season finale. Now, let me just break this down real quick. Carlos King has adopted this thing where he does mid-season finales. And the reason for the mid-season finale, in my opinion, is really to try to keep up with as much real-time filming that is going on in real life, because we have social media. Things happen in real life in real time, and I think filming kind of has a time lapse between 6 and 3 months sometimes. So because there were some other things that took place, they back to filming. And so again, the mid-season finale just kind of takes a break and gets you ready for that next half, which will be more of the current stuff. Now, why this mid-season finale is going on in the middle of a girls' trip, I am not sure. That doesn't seem very smart, because I'm not really sure exactly how long this mid-season finale is going to last. Because sometimes they can last a couple months, I think. Anyway, but we'll see. Love and Marriage Detroit is back on, so I'll be watching that. In the meantime, while we at it, let's just go ahead and get into this episode. So the episode picks up with the girls basically getting ready to have a beach day. They all go to the beach. Destiny has not arrived. She is due to arrive later on that day. So everybody else goes to the beach. They get on jet skis. Mel is doing a little flirting with the island boy. And it's real cute. Miss Sharita, Dr. Sharita, never misses a moment to tag Tisha as an op, which is really funny to me, because I don't know if Mel asked the people to be loyal to her in this way. I think sometimes people's loyalty just shows up where, because we've had these conversations and I know this girl is a thorn in your side, honey, I'm just going to put it out there. Dr. Sharita give me the impression that she doesn't have a problem speaking her mind, and she's very like boisterous in a sense. So that's where that's coming from. She like, yeah, I think you're an op, even though I don't know you. And of course, the only way I know you is through Mel's mouth. And so with that being said, she never misses the opportunity. Mel asks her, why does she think she's an op? She's like, oh, because every time I ask her a question, she tells me who she is. Like, girl, you don't have nothing better than that. I really dislike people who just use phrases as the way that they defend something. Like, that's what it is. She didn't tell you who she was. She told you that I can sit at the table with somebody I don't like because I'm a grown woman, and also because they're filming a show in which that's part of your job. Most people in their everyday life, if you don't have to be around somebody you don't care about, you won't. Outside of when you have to show up for work. You have to show up for work, and sometimes you might have a coworker that you don't particularly care for. And so, yeah, you learn to be cordial and move around. That's grown up. Doesn't make you an op. However, this is what Miss Dr. Sharita does, and we're gonna let her do her thing. Because to be quite honest, I think she would be a good addition to the cast. And here's why. I've been watching reality TV for a long time, y'all. So I feel like I know formulas, and I probably should be somebody's executive producer on something. Carlos King, shout out, okay? Anyway, but every ensemble cast needs that person who is going to kick it off, who going to get it started, who going to put it on the table, who going to be able to get everybody together, and who's going to create the conversations. Because here's the other part about being at work, all having to be cordial and not really getting along. If you don't want to talk about something, you don't have to. So you need that other person that kind of is a neutral space, but they can get everybody talking. And that's what Dr. Sharita really kind of is providing on this trip. And I think she's there again because if it's Mel, then Mel looks messy. If it's any of those other ladies, then they just look like they're being messy. And while Dr. Sharita looked like she being a little messy too, it's okay because she the outside, right? So yeah, you bringing her in to all of these different stories. If I was sitting at the table, I'm going to ask questions too. Anybody who knows me knows I'm going to ask a question if I want to know the answer. And yeah, so every group needs that person. And I think she would be good, a good addition for that. So moving on, they go ahead. So like I say, they had a good time out. She takes that opportunity to call Tisha the op. Tisha leaves the girl early while they go shopping so that she can meet Destiny at the house because Destiny is due to arrive today. So she meets Destiny at the house and of course gives Destiny a quick download. She shows her around, shows their rooms. And let's talk about this for a minute because I didn't go into this on the last podcast, but what is it about the rooms? I know I did mention it because I'm not like a room snob as far as okay, let me back it up. I am just as bougie as most, okay? I like nice things. Of course, when you're on vacation, you want beautiful views, beautiful rooms, right? So don't get me wrong. I don't want to stay in a shack, all right? But when I go on vacation, I'm actually not planning on being in my room very long. So I feel like the main thing I really need for the room, of course, it does need to be nice and clean and, up to code. But the most that I really care about is a good view. I like the idea of waking up and having my breakfast or coffee, with a nice view to look at. So that's mostly what I am concerned about. I've not been on girls' trips before. I'm not sure if that's my thing. I'm a girl's girl, but I'm also very alpha female-ish. I do like my space. I like to move how I move. And so I've never been on a girls trip. So I don't know if that's a thing that happens with girls trips, but I feel like if I was to go on a girls trip, the room part wouldn't be a huge deal to me. I think I could get over the room pretty quickly, and especially if it was not me spending my own money, because of course if I was looking and searching, I think I would have what I wanted. But if I'm just coming in and somebody picked a house and we got rooms to pick from, I mean, yeah, I can see somebody having a nicer room. I'm like, you got the good room, woo, woo, woo. But ultimately, the room Kimmy, Tisha, and Destiny got, it is kind of do look like the cleaning quarters, okay? Look like it's the part where, your cleaning staff or your staff of the house where they probably stay. But hey, you in St. Thomas, like, and you didn't pay for anything. So let's get it going. Let me pause this real quick because it sounds like we have an alarm going off. Okay. Sorry about that. We had an alarm, emergency fire alarm that went off. They're testing the alarms in my building. So back to it. Where was I at? Oh, talking about Shanita, and her being a good fit, because she can just get it started. So speaking of that, she brings up Axe Mel, at dinner, because again, Destiny arrived at dinner. She starts off and asks Mel, like, does she miss being married? So Mel's like, no, that's why I have no desire to be married. So she's like, well, so Sonny, excuse me, before I go there, we gotta make a pit stop by Trisha. So they're going around the table with Miss Nail. She say her and Chris dated about a year before they got married or engaged. And so Trisha chimes in and says, yeah, me too. About 2 years. So Shanita says, "Oh, you're married? Okay, so put a pin in that. Here's the backstory with Trisha, because I don't think I touched on this on the last podcast. So Trisha is new to the cast this season, introduced to us through probably Stormy and Destiny. That's the best way I'll put it. She's basically everybody's trainer, and she has been married to a guy. But they've been separated for 5 years, and she is now dating this guy named Ken, which Ken is a part of the cast with her. Okay, so off rip, unless she tell you that she's married, you're not gonna know that she's married. All right, and that's her drama that she brings. So Shanita's like, "Oh, you're married," and so she's like, because the thing about Trisha is she's not that real comfortable with the cameras or reality TV. So you can see her kind of clam up in different scenes and things. So she's like, because she really doesn't know how to answer it, right? She is still married, but she's separated from this guy. Have no intentions on getting back together with him. However, you know what it sounds like. You're married. And now you got a boyfriend that you call your fiance. So that's what it is. I'm not judging. Just go ahead and say what it is. But that's what she needs to say. Well, you throwing rocks at this girl talking about Sunny. So Trisha's like, well, no, it's not the same. And it's not. Like, that's a reach. But there we go again. That's what I'm saying. We need a girl like like Shanita, who is really just going to open up the can of worms. Just lay them all out on the table, okay? So that was her way to get in, to get Sunny in the conversation. So that's what she say, like, you throwing rocks at her. So she say, no, it's not the same. It's not the same at all. So they kind of have a small back and forth between that, which opens Shanita up to ask Destiny for her side of the story between Destiny, Sunny, and Moses. Because she said, well, I only heard Sunny's side and I took her side, but I never did hear your side. So, what's your story? What's your side? And Destiny being, I guess, neutral in a sense, not really. And that's the good thing with Destiny. I'll give her props for not having the aggression and animosity towards Sunny that Sunny is bringing. It's funny to watch Sunny just have a lot of smoke for Destiny, and it's funny to watch Sunny want to diminish Destiny. And it's kind of like when a woman is like, that's their goal, I'm kind of looking at her like, why? Like, if you got the man and you so good and y'all this, that, and the other, like, why you got so much smoke for Destiny? So big ups to Destiny for keeping her cool and really not giving Sunny anything, paying her dust, to be quite honest. But she says, hey, I think it's just a difference in interpretations of friendship and work relationships. And I thought that was very nicely put, because we all know that Sunny basically is going around saying, I wasn't her friend. I was her producer. I was just doing my job. So if that comes back to me, if I thought we were friends, speaking as Destiny, if I thought somebody was my friend and it comes back to me that she's basically like, we were never friends, then I'm going to take it as that. Like, okay, I thought we was, because I thought the things, us hanging out and us calling and you texting me, love you sis, and that, I thought that was a friendship. But since you said it's not, that's exactly what happened. We had a different interpretation of what our relationship was. I expected something from her. She's basically telling me that wasn't our relationship, so you shouldn't have expected me to not marry your ex-dude, okay? I don't know why you thought that, girl. That's where Sunny coming from. Those my words, but that's all the energy that Sunny is giving. And it's really like, it's really kind of sad to watch Sunny cling to, well, we're married now. Well, he made a choice. It's like us as women, we do ourselves such a disservice when we only chase a ring or the marriage. Like, we forget that that person that you married, like that's supposed to be the prize, and not marriage. Like marriage is the prize, and it's, oh well, he married me. But the quality of guy that decided to marry you, he doesn't seem that great. Um, so let's just get into what his story is, or what the story is. So, oh, excuse me, while they're at dinner, let's go back to it, because here's in a nutshell. Sonny basically is standing on the shoulders of Moses and feeling and believing that Moses has been transparent with her about whatever his communication is with Destiny, about whatever the relationship was with Destiny. And here's what, that's her husband now, and that is a fact. They are married. So I don't have a problem with a wife believing her husband. You're supposed to. Okay, whether it makes sense or not, that's up to you to decide. It's not really for me to decide that. So her believing him, I don't think is that foreign, because if you're gonna go there, then you need to believe him. So I get why she hanging on to these words and his words. But what baffles me is when Destiny says, now they started their relationship. Now this is what Sonny and Moses have come up with. They've come up with their timeline. Okay, the timeline is we got married 90 days after we started dating. So they got married December 9th. Mel counts it back like, okay, that's September 9th that y'all start dating. When is the last time Moses contacted Destiny with the I miss you, I love you, baby, whatever? She says October. Sonny looking crazy. Sonny, she, I guess, alludes to Moses sending her some money, sending Destiny some money. Sonny says, well, that's because he thought you needed help. Not saying that Sonny should show her hand at that table, because you are sitting at the table with his ex, and you are in the wrong. I think Sonny's in the wrong. I don't know. Y'all chime in on my YouTube in the comment section. Let me know about this Sonny, Destiny, and Moses thing. Where do you all stand on this? I think Sonny is wrong. And I also think Sonny probably needs to reevaluate why it is that she is wrong. Like, it doesn't, like, you did have a close enough relationship with this girl to not touch anything that she's touched before. And even in that time span, like, we're not talking about old girl over there on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, where you mad at Bambi for dating your ex guy that you dated 13 years ago. We're not talking about that. Can't nobody come to you with somebody you dated over a decade ago and be mad at you about dating him. That's crazy. Right? But he barely broke up with Destiny. Right? He barely broke up with Destiny. You had a working relationship with her, something like a friendship with her. And I am a huge believer. Like, I don't like when people like to throw the beliefs of God into something to solidify something like marriage. Okay, so that's why everybody holds marriage as the key, because of course that's what the ultimate goal is. And let's just say religiously or spiritually, as far as sharing your life with someone, that is your ultimate thing, is to be one and to be married. But I also think we forget about character and what the Bible tells us about character, and also what the Bible tells us about, about what God sends us. I'm a true believer that God does not send you no mess. Okay, sis? Like, if you praying for your husband, you praying for, you want a relationship, or, you know what I mean? Like, you got something that you trying to do romantically, and you kind of praying on that. Let me tell you what I truly, truly, truly 1000% believe. God is not going to send you somebody riddled in mess. And I know that sounds funny, right? Because we have these ideas that, okay, people can be in bad situations. It could be your opportunity, like basically, so you can meet somebody where they might need the help. They might need you to lean on them. They might need you to lift them up. They might need your support. That's what I should say. They might need your support. And I think that those things are all fine to give. But when it comes to talking about a relationship and whether we get married, I'm going to look at the character. I'm going to look at how you move. And for me, the way that Moses moved, I wouldn't want to marry somebody who moved like that with his previous girl. And I think it appears to be low self-esteem if you allow a man to sit with you and talk negatively about the person he was in a relationship with, possibly still is in a relationship with. And the way that Sonny chalks it up is, well, he's dating. So he's dating. He's a man. He's going to reach out to whoever his options are. And that's what I mean. It feels like low self-esteem because the only way that you know you're special is like, well, he married me, but you was one of them too. Well, he made a choice. All right. I'm going to tell you what I think. My opinion, Moses sounds like an opportunist. Destiny been knowing Moses for 15 years. They were childhood friends. Now, that was something that Sunny didn't know either prior to marrying Moses. She found that out on a podcast. See, and those are the things that would have me questioning, like, how can you question that this man has given you truthful information when that's a big thing. Knowing somebody for 15 years and you don't tell me that? That's a huge thing because that is a long-standing relationship. That is a lot of something. Friendship, it's a lot of something. And for you to leave that out, yeah. He done put a battery in Sonny's back to go at Destiny. Meanwhile, well, the clip from when they come back, basically he kind of, Destiny still love me, and they joking about whether it'd be a throuple, and I'm not saying that he was agreeing, but he basically said that Destiny would be the side chick. Like, my wife is my wife, but we already know who to be a side chick. And it was like, yeah, you scavy to me. Sonny gonna find out soon enough, because let me go back to this. Moses is an opportunist, so going back to it. Him and Destiny knew each other for 15 years. Now, this is where I have a problem with Destiny. Destiny comes on the show. She's newly married, just had a baby. And after that season, this had to be like season 3, 4, something like that. After that season, somewhere in between then, her and her husband got a divorce. She shows back up the next season, doesn't say anything about the divorce. Nobody to this day, no one knows what happened. On the show there was a discussion about her taking his name, her ex-husband's name, and she didn't want to, which I remember thinking that was strange. Cause again, going back to marriage, I feel like as women, that's the natural part, is to take the name. And so I feel like if you are giving somebody, pushback about taking their name, that is something a little deeper than that. And turns out clearly it was, because they ended up divorced. But again, she come back that next season and she didn't talk about it at all. But this is how she started dating Moses. So somehow, I think once that season was over, during the reunion, or maybe she did a podcast, it was something. Somehow, some way it came out that she was dating this guy. Maybe it was on the following season, because they had to tell her, like, you can't be on this show and not share what's going on. Like, everybody else is going through. Mel's life is falling apart. And here it is. You want to, hold what's happening to you close to your chest. And you can. Don't get me wrong. As a person, you can. You just can't do it on Love and Marriage Huntsville, which is why we didn't see her for another 2 seasons. And I guess during this time is when she's dating Moses. But again, they're friends. They've been friends for 15 years. So my point in why I'm thinking Moses is this opportunist is because it seems to me like he he made himself available for Destiny during a time where she was vulnerable. And I feel like the even being more vulnerable to where you would open up to somebody you knew for a long time that you felt like you could trust, and that understood what you just been through, because they've been your friend for 15 years. So I think he took advantage of Destiny, but I do think it was for a personal thing, because she didn't bring him on the show. Then she I think she missed the, because she just came back, so I want to say she's been gone for 2 seasons. I'm gonna say 2 seasons. And so now they brought her back now because of this Sonny Moses situation. Sonny and Moses being married. It's not a situation, it's because of them getting married, and uh their I'm trying to think of the word, guys. I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. But basically, in the closeness that they share with Destiny. So Destiny now has a storyline she can talk about. And so they brought her back. But here's the way I'm coming up with Destiny. I don't want to hear it. Like, I don't want to hear it. Even listening to her at the dinner table, for you to have opinions about Mel and her marriage and her teaching somebody to respectfully cheat, where's your opinions about your own life, girl? Why is it that you can't, why you can't say more than one sentence about this situation? Why you got so much smoke for Mel? Because I really feel like you need to be just focused on your own life. And maybe you should be focused on telling your own story so that somebody else doesn't get to come in and tell it for you. Because that's really what happened with Sonny and Moses. You kept him a secret. He wasn't having it. He got with Sonny. And so now he on the show. And now they trying to move to Huntsville. And now they plan on being there. And so, that's why I look at Moses like an opportunist. That feel like he an opportunist. And I think that Sonny just doesn't realize she was the opportunity. Now here y'all go rushing to go do IVF. Don't get me wrong. I get it. Time's ticking. She found her husband. We moving on, moving forward. But all of that just feels like you're running scared. Like you got to hurry up and get these things and make these marks to solidify something you didn't take the time to solidify before. You wouldn't be so insecure about your relationship if you could have took the time out to make sure it was something to secure. That's where I go back to, God ain't gonna send you no mess. He not finna send you some man that's still in the middle of a relationship. Now that don't mean he might not come to you as a friend. Maybe you can be friendly with somebody that way. But as far as trying to get with them and move on and create y'all own life while all that is going on, messy. And we know who the author of Messy is. Okay, so keep it 100. I keep it 100 with myself, and that's why I'm always keep it 100 on this podcast. Okay, Sonny displays low self-esteem, and it's sad to see because she's displaying it as strength, and you look crazy. You look crazy. Go on with your man, with your husband. Do your IVF, and we gonna wish the best for you. But the smoke, she needs to pipe down. Oh, and she gonna have the nerve, I found this strange at the table also. So again, that opens up the conversation where that's all Destiny had to say about that situation. So Sonny then wants to ask Mel, what happened in her friendship with Destiny that caused them to not be friends anymore, basically. But here's what I'm trying to understand with Sonny. Why is that in your business? You the one just told this girl you was never her friend. So I don't understand why you thinking that, bringing up that point of what is it that Destiny did to Mel for her to think, feel like they couldn't be friends anymore. why that was a plus to you, because you already said that y'all wasn't friends. So there's not anything you owe to her, and there's not anything she owed to you. That's how that go, right? So I didn't understand that. Again, low self-esteem. And it's funny about low self-esteem because what people don't understand is that it jumps out your body. Just like I used to say this about, like, I say when people are acting a certain way or acting other than themselves, like I say, spirits, right? The spirits and jumped in their body. This negative spirit that jumped in their body. And I feel that way, like that insecurity, those moments, that little spirit just screams, like it's just screaming, help me. And that's the same thing when people have negative vibes and stuff, like they can't help but ooze, like negativity. It's like the spirit just jump out your body. You could be sitting somewhere trying your hardest to not do anything, to not be negative or to not, go there. And yet here it is. You find yourself right there, all because it just jump on out your body. But that's how that low self-esteem, honey, is just riddled all over her. Maybe it's uncomfortability, but I think it's a mixture of both. I think she has low self-esteem, and she's a beautiful lady. There's no reason I don't know why people think being pretty doesn't mean you can't have low self-esteem. That doesn't mean anything. You're just pretty. But if you don't know what your worth is and how to demand that from somebody, how to walk away from something that is not of your worth. If you don't know how to do that, those are ways that you display low self-esteem. And we all have at times, right? We all have. But it's just, I just can't stand seeing her with all this smoke for Destiny. And it's like, baby girl, oh, I just hope this work out for you the way you see it. I don't think it will though, y'all. Just remember this day and remember this podcast. I don't think it will. And I think he gonna do something real snake-like the way it happened with Destiny. Cause what they tell you, the zebra don't change its stripes. Yeah, he gonna be real snakish with you. The only thing is you're gonna have a baby. And I thought that was pretty interesting. They had an excerpt where both of them in the confessional were speaking, and he said something like, well, if she wants to have a baby, I'm gonna make sure she has a baby or has her baby. I thought that was a very interesting way to put it. But see, what they call it, Freudian slips. I can't say his name right. It's okay. Don't judge me. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, like, I don't think this is going to work out for her, baby girl. But I'm wishing nothing but the best because I love like most people. And so, hey, y'all in love. You are the wife. So I'll give her that. That's his wife now. And like I said, I'm very proud of Destiny for just not even going there with her. She is not showing up like the bitter Betty. It's Sunny that's showing up like the bitter Betty, which is funny because you the one with the ring. So why are you bitter, girl? Which would say to me that you did something wrong. That's too. Oh, but in the middle of this conversation, I done went all off, like, with my own opinions, but that's what this podcast is about, because who asked for this? Nobody. I'm still gonna give it to you, okay? Anyway, so right, that brings up at the table, Destiny mentions that that Sunny was texting her like, love you, sis, how close and love you, sis. And so Shanita's like, you texted her that? So Sunny's like, well, yeah, I just responded that way. What? So Shanita say, you text people I love you and you don't? You know what I mean? Like, well, yeah, see, caught up. You did something wrong, sis. That's why it's all over her. It's all over her body language. It's all over everything. And all of that smoke for, well, he was dating a lot of women and I'm the wife now and we're doing IVF. Like, she couldn't wait to get that out her mouth because she needs somebody to get that information to Destiny. But let me just go here. Destiny got a son. some women really, really trip me out. Destiny has a son. So even though she was with Moses, even though, yeah, it looked like you can't steal nobody who didn't want to be gone. So that you didn't steal him. But, it looked like you throwing it in her face. But it's like, what are you throwing in her face? Again, Moses is not a prize. It ain't nothing they said about him that made me think like, ooh, he's a good man, Savannah. Good man. No, Moses is trash. And you look crazy for sitting up, like, that's my man, my man, my man. You look crazy. But again, that's your husband. So it's supposed to be my man, my man, my man. Y'all heard what I said. I don't think it's going to last. Anyway, so yeah, Shanita kind of like, who the op now? Anyway, moving on. I don't understand why Destiny has the smoke for Mel though. And I guess maybe it feels like, this is what I'm going to guess. I think Mel, when she ends relationships, some of them is just over. Like you don't get a talk. You don't know that anything is wrong. You just all of a sudden stop talking to her. And then once you maybe trying to figure out why, that's when you find out like, well, we're not friends anymore. So I feel like Destiny is just really hurt because Mel, cutoff game is strong. She cut off and it's been cut off. Destiny is in a tough position being friends with both Martell and Melody. And Melody has made it very clear that she really don't want nobody riding the fence. Like, you either riding with me or you ride with Martell. So I think as far as Destiny goes, it looks like Destiny is riding with Martell. And then Mel may have alluded, which this is messy Mel, honey, may have alluded to, just not quite sure, knowing what Destiny and Martell have done, if they've ever messed around or anything like that. I don't really think so. That's not something that's on my radar in that sense. But I think that Mel was just looking for loyalty from Destiny that she didn't get. And even from woman to woman, I can see that. And I don't know why Destiny just can't chill and understand that too. And just kind of be like, well, F it. I'm friends with Martell. That is what it is. And it is going to look crazy me being friends with Martell because now I'm over at the house. You got videos, admittedly, with the kids and now with Martell's baby mama. And Mel is not here for the shenanigans. I'm not mad at Mel for that. And I'm also not mad at Mel for her being very upfront about it. You know where I stand. So, it is what it is. You made your choice. But Destiny did try to, she tried to say that Mel was trying to teach the Martell's baby mama how to respectfully cheat. And where she got this from is there's a instance that she's describing. Mel is on the phone with Martell's baby mama saying, well, let me know when Martell is going to be there or something to that fact. Like, oh, let me know when he's going to be there so I can show up. And Destiny says, I told you, we should just black it, go over there and whoop this girl's tail. From that instance, Destiny she took that and said that was Mel trying to teach this girl how to cheat with her husband. Mel hit the roof. This is basically where the finale ends at this point. But yeah, Mel hit the roof because we've heard people talk about respectfully cheating, but I don't know one woman who sat up and would have any type of conversation with somebody that their husband was cheating with and coached them about how to cheat. And I feel like Destiny, that's a reach, Destiny. But I'm confused. How can you have all of these details about somebody else's life and you're not sharing your own life? Where are the details of your life? What happened with you and your husband? Where is your son right now? What are you doing? Who are you dating? Where are your friends? That annoys me about people in general. If you want me to end a conversation or really just probably not even have a lot of conversation with you, be the type of person that think you can tell somebody else about their life. I don't know how people think they can do that. I don't know. And you're not Mel or Martell. And so any information that you're getting is coming from one source, but yet you will state it to the other party. You stating it to Mel like it's fact. That's annoying. That is annoying. The only thing you know about is your life. Talk about your life, girl. See, that's like I say, I don't like that stuff. Sunny did the same thing with the whole what did she do to make you feel like she wasn't being a friend to you? What does it matter? Because you already said you wasn't her friend. So it wasn't nothing she did that made you feel like y'all wasn't friends. You said y'all wasn't friends. You said y'all wasn't friends. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Anyhow, so like I said, Mel hit the roof. Mel is like, girl, you crazy. How crazy do you sound? Like, who's sitting up coaching their husband's mistress on how to cheat? And to her point, if she was fine, like if that's what it was, I don't think she would have divorced Martell. But everybody is of this belief that because Martell had been cheating with this girl for 5 years, that's the total, right? Mel found out at one point, they separated, decided to get back together. So Martell was going back and forth with this girl. Then the straw that broke the camel's back was this girl getting pregnant. So Mel got pregnant with her 4th child and found out that this girl was pregnant also. So yeah, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Was Mel trying to teach that girl how to respectfully cheat? I don't think that she was trying to teach her to do that, but I do think, because there is a conversation from season 1, where they discuss, is there a way to respectfully cheat? As a question, and I'm gonna pose that question on this podcast too. Go over to my YouTube, Brandy Janae, and let me know about that. Hey, is there a way to respectfully cheat? I think we all can agree that there can be. There's something to be said about the guy who possibly is running around on his wife, but the wife don't know nothing. Bills paid, wife doing what she's doing. The girl ain't calling her. The girl ain't DMing her. The girl not posting pictures. She not on, she not doing none of this stuff. It's just going on, and the people who know, and the people who don't. And then there's a way that you cheat, and the girl is in the inbox. She posting pictures. She, low-key stalking. That's a bit much for anybody. I feel like, so I think we only call it respectfully cheating because you don't know what you don't know. And it's nothing wrong with a wife believing her husband. It's nothing wrong with a wife trusting her husband. It's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with those things. If you marry, you in fact should be able to trust your husband. You should be able to believe what he tells you. If you don't, there is a problem there. If you running around feeling like you can't trust nothing he say, that's the problem. It's not him. The problem is you married to somebody you can't trust nothing he say. If you get married, you need to trust your husband. Not saying he ain't doing nothing, but I'm just saying you need to believe he ain't. That's all that really matter. At the end of the day, you need to believe it. Nobody else in the world needs to know or believe it. You do. So that's that on that. But, so yeah, what do you think? Can you respectfully cheat? Is that okay? Do we have people that do it? I think when we think about rich lifestyles, couples that have Rashida and Kurt, couples that have a lot of assets together, a lot of businesses together, a lot of their monies tied up with each other, I think those are instances in which you might use a term like respectfully cheat. Because those are instances where people probably find it harder to walk away, right? But Mel, baby, bye. Mel wasn't trying to teach nobody to respectfully cheat, because the way she dissolved that business that they had, honey, done. Check and check. Business dissolved. We had nothing else to do. Mel got gone, got done with them, got gone, ain't looked back. And I'm proud of Mel for that too. That takes a lot. She did what she thought she could because she had her kids. He didn't live up to his end of the bargain. And so we out. We done. Nothing else to talk about. Destiny, you did wrong for that though. You did wrong. And I wish you had as much opinion about your own life. I really wish you did. It's really annoying to see you have so much to say about Mel and her marriage to somebody else who happens to be your friend, but you ain't got nothing to say about your own life. Something's wrong with that, sis. You need to get that together. I'd be okay if she doesn't come to the next season. I know she'll be in the mid-season, whatever. Whenever that comes up, she'll be in the second half of the season, which that's going to finish off with the girl trip. Again, I don't know why we doing this mid-season finale in the middle of a girl trip, but whatever. So I know we got to deal with her for the rest of the season, but I'm actually okay if she doesn't come back. I'm actually okay if Sonny and Moses doesn't come back either. Trisha and Ken, they can stay. Oh my God. I forgot to talk to y'all about Trisha's hairstyle. I hate it. Have you been watching this? She looked like she walked right into Milani Beauty Supply and picked up the most synthetic piece she could find. And you can tell that it's synthetic because the way she has it, she got to have it pulled up so that it doesn't get wet or stretched out or anything, because them curls going to look like a mess. Girl, that looked like a mop on top of your head. What? Like, who did that to her? Who asked for that? Right? Who asked for that? See? That's what I'm talking about. Who asked for that? It's a mess. I don't like it at all. It's so 90s. It makes her look, it ages her, and not in a good way, because I think the muscles age her too. I like a toned body, not very muscular, but I feel like being overly muscular, that can, it can make you not look as young. And then that hairstyle, honey, Miss Nail is for sure older than her, but Miss Nail is looking much younger than Miss Trish. Trish is looking like she pushing 60 with that hairstyle. She need to quit. I don't know why. And who told her to do that. I don't know. But it was a bad decision. That's one of them bad hair days. Everybody has them in their first and second season. So this is hers. That's a mistake she made, and I hope she never make it again, honey. With that being said, I'm finna get out of here, and that wraps up this episode 107, Love and Marriage Huntsville mid-season recap. Go over to my YouTube channel, Brandy Janae. Make sure you subscribe, like this podcast, and continue the discussion. We can talk over there. All right, until next time, peace out.